Hey everyone, and welcome back for another deep dive.
Yeah,
You know, we love to go deep, and today we're diving into the world of consumer behavior.
that's right.
We've got a whole stack of insights from marketing gurus, and of course,
Fascinating.
we're going to bring in those real-world examples you guys always love.
Of course.
Apple, Nike, even McDonald's.
Oh, yeah. Big names.
How do these companies use this stuff to basically, well, win us over?
Yeah, we all like to think we're pretty savvy,
Right.
weighing our options and making those rational decisions. But in reality, it's a lot more complex than that.
Yeah, one of the articles we were looking at, this one from Procure for Marketing, I think really sums it up nicely.
Okay.
Forget consumers as robots, just out there hunting for the best deal.
Right.
Our emotions, desires, all that psychology plays a huge role.
It's true. It's true. And, you see this with brands like Apple.
Oh, yeah.
They've gone way beyond just selling gadgets.
Right.
They tapped into something much deeper.
It's that feeling like, if I own this, I am cool, or I'm innovative, or I'm part of this, creative tribe.
Exactly. That idea that if I own this, I'll be seen as this
Yes.
cooler,
Yeah.
more successful, it. And Apple has nailed that.
Yeah, they've really mastered marketing that feeling.
100%.
It's like they're not just selling a phone, they're selling a whole identity.
It really is fascinating to see how a brand can become so intertwined with our sense of self. I mean, to think about it, the lines outside Apple stores on launch day,
Yeah.
it's about far more than just getting the newest gadget.
Totally. Okay, so we've got this underlying psychology, but then there's this whole other layer.
Yeah.
Social influence. This is something else Procure for Marketing talks about.
Right.
Our friends, family, all those influencers we follow online,
Of course, yeah.
they all impact what we buy.
Yeah, we're social creatures even when it comes to shopping.
Yeah.
We look to others, especially those we admire, for cues on what to buy, what's cool, what's worth our money.
Think about Nike and their Air Jordans.
Classic example.
They went from basketball shoes to cultural icons. And, Michael Jordan's star power had everything to do with that.
Right. It's a perfect example of celebrity endorsement. Going beyond just a name attached to a product. It's like wearing those shoes was suddenly channeling a bit of Jordan's charisma, success, that cool factor.
It makes you think, right? Have you ever felt pressured to buy something just because everyone else was, or because someone you follow online was raving about it?
All the time.
I know I have.
It's almost unavoidable in today's world, but this awareness of how social influence works can be a powerful tool.
Yeah,
It can help us become more conscious consumers.
definitely. And it's not just about celebrities or influencers. Culture plays a huge role too. Shared beliefs, traditions, even religious practices.
Probably.
They impact our desires as consumers.
Absolutely. Those shared experiences shape what we find desirable.
The article brought up McDonald's as a really interesting example.
Okay.
They adapt their menus to different cultures, like the chicken Maharaja Mac in India.
I've heard of that. Yeah, that's a smart strategy. Not only does it demonstrate cultural sensitivity,
Right.
but it also probably contributes to their success in India by resonating with local consumers.
Makes you wonder, what brands do you connect with on a cultural level? The ones that just seem to get your background and values.
It's powerful, that feeling of being understood as a consumer. It builds trust and loyalty.
Okay, so we've got this whole swirl of psychology, social dynamics, and culture.
It's a lot.
But how does that actually translate into someone buying something?
Right.
Procure for Marketing breaks down the process into 5 stages.
The classic consumer decision journey.
Yes.
A helpful framework, especially when you consider how marketers can tap into each stage.
Right, it all starts with need recognition. That light bulb moment when you realize, hey, I need a new phone. This one's on its last legs.
And marketers are always trying to trigger this need recognition, sometimes even creating a problem you didn't know you had,
Oh, yeah.
just so their product seems like the solution.
Sneaky. All right, so you've got the need, now comes the information search. We hit the internet, read reviews, maybe chat with friends, compare different models.
Yeah, this is where visibility is key for brands. They want to be top of mind when you're researching.
Totally.
Think targeted ads, sponsored content. Those, you might also like suggestions.
Okay, then it's on to evaluation, weighing the pros and cons, the price, the features, all of it.
This is where a strong value proposition comes in. Marketers need to show why their product is the best choice for you.
Okay, we're getting close now. It's the purchase decision.
The big moment,
We've done our research. We're ready to click buy now.
But even here, marketers can influence you.
Oh, yeah.
Things like limited time offers, free shipping, bundling deals.
Oh, yeah, all those little nudges.
It's all designed to nudge you towards that final conversion.
But wait, there's one more stage, post-purchase behavior?
Oh, right, of course.
How do you feel about the product after you've bought it? Are you happy? Disappointed? Would you recommend it to others?
This stage is crucial for building brand loyalty.
Yes.
A positive experience can turn you into a repeat customer and even an advocate for the brand.
Which is why companies are so focused on customer service and building those relationships.
Makes sense. A happy customer is incredibly valuable.
Right.
They might make repeat purchases, give positive reviews, even influence their friends through word-of-mouth marketing. It's a powerful cycle.
This 5-stage model is really like a roadmap,
Yeah, I like that.
both for us as consumers and for those marketers trying to reach us.
It is.
Helps us understand the whole dance between our psychology and their strategy.
That constant interplay between our individual minds, social pressures, and these carefully crafted marketing messages.
Yeah.
The more we understand it, the better equipped we are to make informed decisions.
Now, before we go any further, I want to talk about a brand that has mastered a lot of what we've been discussing.
Oh, yeah.
Starbucks.
Okay.
A perfect example of creating an experience that goes way beyond the product itself.
They've turned getting coffee into a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah. It's about the feeling, the atmosphere, the whole vibe.
You know, the article we were looking at talked about how they've really tapped into our need for connection and belonging.
It's brilliant how they've created a space where people are willing to pay a premium for a latte when they could easily make one at home for much cheaper.
Right. Think about those personalized drinks with your name on the cup.
Oh, yeah.
It's such a simple detail, but it makes you feel seen.
Right. Like they care.
Like they care.
Creates a sense of ownership, of personal connection with the brand.
Yeah, and then there's the whole ambiance of the stores. The lighting, the comfy chairs, that aroma of coffee.
It's like a mini escape from the world.
And that's what keeps people coming back. It's not just about the caffeine.
Yeah.
It's about the entire experience.
And that experience extends beyond their physical stores, their loyalty programs, their app, even their social media presence. It all works together to keep people engaged.
So what does this all tell us about consumer behavior?
Understanding these dynamics isn't just for marketers, it's for all of us.
Right.
Knowing how our minds work, how we're influenced, how brands tap into our desires.
Yeah.
It helps us make smarter choices.
100%.
We can break free from those marketing traps and start buying things that truly align with our values.
Exactly. We become more conscious, more active participants in the marketplace.
Now we're going to continue our deep dive in part 2.
Looking forward to it.
But before we go, we want you to think about this.
Okay.
What do you value in a brand experience beyond the product itself?
Yeah. Is it personalization, convenience? That feeling of community? Hold on to that thought, and we'll explore it further in our next installment.
See you then.
Welcome back to our deep dive, everyone.
Glad to have you back.
We're picking up right where we left off.
Exploring those savvy brands like Starbucks.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Figuring out how to keep us engaged and coming back for more.
It's more than just a good product these days, right?
Absolutely. In part 1, we talked about the psychology behind our choices, social forces at play, even cultural nuances that shape what we want.
Yeah. And we dug into that 5-stage consumer decision process.
Yes, a classic.
But it really highlights how marketers are trying to influence us every step of the way.
It's like a dance, right? Our needs and desires meeting their carefully crafted strategies.
Precisely. And speaking of evolving consumer trends, there's something we need to discuss that's been making waves in the marketing world: ethical consumerism.
Oh, yes. This is huge.
Yeah.
Consumers are getting more and more aware of the impact their purchases have on the world around them.
It's not just about what they buy anymore. It's about who they're buying from.
Exactly. People are asking tough questions about sustainability or fair labor practices, all of that.
Right.
They want to support brands that align with their values.
It's a real shift in mindset. Values-driven buying is becoming a powerful force.
So how can brands adapt to this? How do they appeal to these conscious consumers?
Transparency is key. Consumers want to know where those products are coming from, how they're made, what impact they have on the environment and on society.
No more hiding behind vague claims.
Yeah.
It's about being open and honest about your entire supply chain.
Yeah.
Your commitment to ethical practices.
And it's got to be more than just lip service.
Right.
Consumers want to see action, real initiatives that demonstrate a genuine commitment to doing better.
You can't just slap a green label on something and call it a day.
No, no, no.
Consumers are smart. They can spot greenwashing a mile away.
Oh, absolutely. Ethical consumers can sniff out inauthenticity pretty quickly.
Okay, so transparency is crucial. But how do brands build that trust with their audience?
Well, it starts by walking the walk,
Mm-hmm.
aligning your actions with your stated values. If you're claiming to care about sustainability, your operations need to reflect that.
It's about clear communication,
Yes.
sharing your efforts, your progress, not being afraid to tell your story.
Social media is a powerful tool for this.
Oh, yeah.
Use it to showcase your initiatives. Engage with consumers, directly answer their questions.
Don't be shy about partnering with organizations or influencers.
Right.
Genuinely share your values.
Yeah, it can amplify your message and add credibility.
Ultimately, this ethical journey, it's ongoing.
It is.
It's about continuous improvement, always striving to do better.
And it's a win-win, really.
Yeah.
Brands that embrace ethical practices not only appeal to these conscious consumers, but they contribute to a more sustainable world.
It's a positive feedback loop?
It is.
Okay, so we've got ethical consumerism on the rise, but let's talk about another massive force shaping the landscape online shopping.
Oh, yes. E-commerce has completely transformed the way we shop.
The convenience,
Yeah.
the endless options, the ability to compare prices without leaving your couch. I mean, it's no wonder it's exploded in popularity.
But this new world comes with its own set of challenges.
Right.
Both for consumers and the brands trying to reach them.
For consumers, it can be overwhelming. So many choices, so many retailers, and there's always that risk of buying something that doesn't quite live up to the hype.
And for brands, the competition is fierce. They have to find ways to stand out in a sea of online retailers.
Right.
Build trust with consumers who can't physically experience their products.
So what are some of the strategies that brands are using to win over those online shoppers?
Well, personalization is huge.
Okay.
E-commerce platforms use data to tailor recommendations and marketing messages to individual shoppers.
Like those recommended for you sections.
Exactly.
Or those personalized email offers.
Yes, it's all about making you feel like the brand understands your needs.
It's about creating a tailored experience.
Yeah. Yes, and of course, the whole online shopping experience needs to be smooth and enjoyable.
That means a user-friendly website,
Of course.
clear product descriptions, high-quality visuals, secure payment options. The basics have to be there.
And don't underestimate the power of good customer service. Online shoppers still value human interaction, so responsive support is essential.
And then there's social proof.
Oh, yes.
Reviews, ratings, testimonials, they play a huge role in shaping purchase decisions online.
Absolutely. Consumers rely heavily on those, so encourage satisfied customers to share their experiences.
Showcase those positive reviews, let potential buyers see what others are saying.
And speaking of online trends, we can't forget about the rise of social commerce.
What exactly is social commerce?
So
I've heard the term.
it's the merging of social media and e-commerce, allowing people to shop directly within their favorite social media platforms.
Oh, like those shop now buttons on Instagram or those Facebook shops.
Exactly. It blurs the lines between social interaction and online shopping.
It makes sense. People are already spending so much time on social media. Why not make it easy to buy what they see there?
Right. It's about creating a seamless experience within those platforms.
Oh.
Leveraging influencer marketing, social proof, user-generated content, all of that can drive sales.
It's fascinating to see how these lines are blurring.
As we wrap up this segment on online shopping, here's a key takeaway for both consumers and brands. For consumers, be mindful of your online habits. Do your research, read reviews. Don't be afraid to ask questions.
And for brands, remember that building trust is paramount in the digital world. Create a smooth, personalized experience that fosters loyalty and encourages engagement. It's a whole new world out there.
Indeed, and in part 3, we'll delve into an even more cutting-edge aspect of consumer behavior, the fascinating world of neuromarketing.
Ooh, that sounds intriguing. Can't wait to dive into that one. Stay tuned, everyone. Welcome back, everyone, to the final part of our consumer behavior deep dive.
We've covered a lot, haven't we?
We have from psychology and social influence to ethical shopping and the world of e-commerce.
It's been quite a journey.
It really has, but we've got one more fascinating stop on our itinerary. You mentioned something called neuromarketing.
Ah, yes, neuromarketing. This is where things get really interesting. It's a field that merges neuroscience and marketing
Okay.
to understand how our brains respond to marketing stimuli.
So we're talking about actually peering into people's minds
In a way, yes.
to see what makes them tick as consumers.
Neuromarketing uses techniques like brain imaging, eye tracking, even facial coding to measure those emotional and cognitive responses we have
Wow.
to ads, products, even just branding.
So they can actually see what parts of our brain light up when we see like a tempting ad.
That's the idea.
I'm both fascinated and a little creeped out by that.
I understand the feeling, but these techniques can provide incredible insights into our subconscious reactions, things we might not even be aware of ourselves.
Right.
And that's incredibly valuable for marketers.
I can see that because, traditional market research often relies on people self-reporting, and we're not always accurate.
Right.
I mean, we don't always know why we make the choices we do.
Exactly. Neuromarketing bypasses those conscious filters and taps into our deeper, more primal responses. It's like getting a glimpse behind the curtain of our decision-making process.
So what kind of information can they get from this? What are some concrete examples of neuromarketing in action?
Well, for instance, it can help identify the emotional triggers that drive purchases.
Okay.
Is it excitement, fear, nostalgia? Neuromarketing can pinpoint those emotions with surprising accuracy.
So you could figure out what kind of music or imagery evokes the strongest emotional response. That's kind of amazing.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
They can also use eye tracking to see where our attention is drawn to in an ad or on a website.
Yeah.
Are we looking at the product itself, the price, the buy now button?
It's like a window into our subconscious decision-making process.
And facial coding can reveal subtle micro-expressions that indicate our emotional state. Are we happy, confused? These insights can help marketers fine-tune their messaging and creative to be more effective.
Wow, it's like neuromarketing is taking all the guesswork out of marketing.
In a sense, yes.
But it does make you wonder about the ethical implications.
Yes.
I mean, if marketers know how to push our buttons on a subconscious level, couldn't that be used to manipulate us?
That's a valid concern. The ethics of neuromarketing are definitely a hot topic. But it's important to remember that marketing has always been about persuasion to some degree. Neuromarketing just gives us more sophisticated tools
Right.
for understanding and, yes, potentially influencing consumer behavior.
So it's up to both marketers and consumers to use this knowledge responsibly.
Absolutely. We as consumers need to be aware of these techniques and be more critical of the marketing messages we're bombarded with every day.
We need to be savvy shoppers,
Yes.
not just passive recipients of these carefully crafted messages.
Well said now. As we wrap up our deep dive into the world of consumer behavior, let's circle back to the key takeaways. We've covered a lot of ground, but what are the main points we want our listener to walk away with today?
Well, we've learned that consumer behavior is this intricate tapestry woven from psychology, social influence, cultural norms, and so much more. It's not just about logic and reason, it's about emotions, desires, those underlying motivations we may not even be aware of ourselves.
And understanding these factors is incredibly powerful both for consumers and the brands trying to reach them. It allows us to make more informed choices, create more impactful experiences, and navigate this complex landscape with more awareness.
We've seen how brands are evolving beyond just selling products. They're crafting experiences, aligning themselves with values, fostering a sense of connection with their audience.
And consumers are becoming more discerning. They're demanding transparency, authenticity, and ethical practices from the companies they support.
And let's not forget the digital revolution. The rise of e-commerce and social media has completely transformed how we shop and interact with brands. It's a whole new world out there, one filled with both opportunities and challenges.
It is.
But perhaps the biggest takeaway from all of this is the power of knowledge. The more we understand about the forces shaping our choices as consumers, the better equipped we are to navigate the marketplace and make decisions that truly align with our needs and values.
Well said. We encourage you to continue exploring this fascinating world. Pay attention to your own buying habits. Question those marketing messages that come your way and make conscious choices that reflect who you are and what you stand for.
Because ultimately, it's about becoming a more conscious, empowered consumer, and who doesn't want that?
That's it for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us. And until next time, happy consuming.